Your destiny was delayed by someone you trusted, but Archangel Michael just cut it loose. Archangel Michael sees clearly into the layers of your life and today speaks directly about the unseen chains that have bound you. A person you once trusted deeply, someone who wore a smile while secretly holding your destiny captive, has silently stood as an obstacle in your path. You felt the friction, sensed a hidden force pulling you back, yet you couldn't fully identify the source. This was no ordinary delay. It was spiritual sabotage. This trusted figure didn't just betray you personally. They disrupted the divine blueprint laid out by heaven itself. They saw your rising light, the brilliance of your purpose, and they feared losing control over you. Out of envy masked by friendship, jealousy cloaked in false kindness, they manipulated circumstances to halt your progress. But heaven witnessed it all. Archangel Michael, protector of divine destinies, watched patiently as the threads of betrayal unraveled. With his sword of truth, he has decisively stepped into your situation, cutting loose the spiritual chains that hindered your destiny. And now, the barriers are removed, the lies exposed, and your purpose released. Tonight marks a profound turning point, a moment when clarity floods your spirit, when what was delayed becomes suddenly accelerated. Heaven announces this clearly. Your delay was temporary, but your destiny is eternal. From this moment forward, nothing and no one can interfere with the sacred mission placed upon your life. Archangel Michael declares boldly, the path is now clear, and divine alignment is swiftly being restored. Your time of delay has ended, and the era of rapid restoration begins immediately. Archangel Michael says, listen closely. Someone secretly blocked your destiny, but divine swords just cut it loose. Beloved, tonight is unlike any other night you've encountered. A shift so powerful has occurred in the realms unseen, that even now, you can sense its profound reverberation within your soul. For too long, a hidden hand, a hand you trusted, had interfered with heaven's divine assignment upon your life. This betrayal was cunningly concealed, hidden behind warm smiles and comforting words. But in the quiet spaces of your spirit, you felt this friction, this persistent resistance that made your dreams elusive, your breakthroughs incomplete. Tonight, Archangel Michael has risen with divine authority and has broken the spiritual bondage set against you. With a single, swift, and decisive movement, his sword of fiery truth has sliced through the cords of manipulation, deception, and delay. What was stalled is now accelerating. What was withheld is now pouring forth. Heaven has declared loudly and clearly that the delay has ended, and your path to divine purpose is now gloriously free. You must understand, beloved, this delay was never ordinary. It was an intentional blockade set by someone whose fear of your ascension turned them against you. They envied your light, they saw your potential before you did, and their insecurity turned toxic. Their friendship became a mask, their encouragement a carefully scripted performance. But now, through the divine intervention of Archangel Michael, every hidden truth is laid bare before your eyes. You no longer have to question the source of the setbacks you've endured. Tonight, Archangel Michael assures you, your destiny has never been safer. Every obstacle is shattered. Divine favor pours like rain upon your life. Heaven has spoken, Archangel Michael has acted. The decree of liberation has gone forth. Your delayed destiny has now caught up to you, and it arrives abundantly. Type my destiny is now free to receive blessings of alignment. Blessing code 444 activated for you. Someone you trusted delayed your destiny. They smiled at you. They prayed with you. They offered their help, their advice, their presence. But behind closed doors, something else was happening. Behind your back, Conversations were had that didn't match the kindness shown to your face. You weren't paranoid. You weren't overthinking. You were discerning the spiritual disturbance behind a mask. Archangel Michael reveals now, there was someone watching you with envy, not admiration. There was someone who feared what you could become, because they knew that once you fully rose into your calling, they could no longer hold sway over your future. The person who called you family, friend, partner, or mentor was secretly terrified of your freedom, because your freedom would expose their control. This was a spiritual sabotage disguised as emotional support. This wasn't just gossip. This was intentional delay. And yes, you felt it. The misalignment, the stuckness, the strange emotional fatigue when you interacted with them. The way your confidence started to shrink every time they offered advice. The way your boldness turned into confusion. Your dreams started to feel like burdens. Your voice began to tremble when it used to roar. Archangel Michael reveals, your silence was never weakness. It was your soul trying to protect your power from contamination. But they misread it. They assumed you were naive. They thought you'd never notice. Your silence is being misread, Michael says. But heaven has heard every whisper. A conversation happened behind your back, beloved, one that distorted your image, one that redirected an opportunity that was meant for you. They spoke your name, but not with honor. They twisted your purpose to fit their fear. But they didn't know. Heaven was listening. Archangel Michael stood on the edge of that moment, recording every word in the book of justice. They've uncovered a fragment of your purpose, but only a fragment. And in their ignorance, they tried to bind your future based on what they didn't fully understand. They saw your potential, yes, but not your power. They underestimated the favor on your life. They underestimated who walks beside you. They underestimated Archangel Michael. And now, that miscalculation has triggered a reversal. Every word they spoke against you is being undone. Every scheme is collapsing. Every delay is ending. The cords are being cut. What they thought they could contain is now overflowing. What they whispered in secret will be shouted in the heavens as testimony of your breakthrough. Beloved, you are not small. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are divinely covered, divinely chosen, and divinely elevated. That delay tried to cripple your self-worth, but heaven says, not anymore. Archangel Michael says, you were never behind. You were being protected from premature exposure. You were being guarded until your wings were strong enough to fly over their fear. Let your heart be still. Let your soul be anchored. The betrayal hurt, yes, but the healing has now begun. And with it, the reward. If this message speaks directly to your soul, take a moment to reflect. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with a contribution of up to $10. Your support helps us keep sharing messages that restore hope and activate destiny. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. This isn't personal, it's spiritual. This isn't betrayal, it's warfare. Archangel Michael declares that the delay you experienced was never just the result of human betrayal. It was an orchestrated resistance in the spiritual realm designed to test your endurance, challenge your discernment, and sharpen your divine perception. The person who blocked your path did not merely act from emotion. They were being used as a vessel, knowingly or unknowingly, by energies that feared your emergence. Your light irritated their shadows. Your elevation threatened the balance of their control. And your awakening made them nervous. Not because of what you were, but because of what you were about to become. You see, beloved, there is always resistance when a chosen one begins to recognize their value. There is always tension when a soul marked by heaven begins to rise in purpose. You are that soul. The manipulation that delayed your destiny was not random. It was targeted. It was spiritual. That person didn't just misunderstand you. They were spiritually allergic to your light. They couldn't stand the mirror you held up to them by simply existing in truth. Their sabotage was a response to their internal chaos. But you must know this. Your path, although delayed, was never destroyed. Because what God seals, man cannot steal. What heaven ordains, no darkness can derail. The attacks you endured are proof of your significance. The whispers, the diversions, the false advice, they were strategies sent to confuse you and contain your growth. But containment is no longer possible. The truth is that the enemy underestimated your resilience. And more importantly, they underestimated the strength of the divine forces assigned to you. Archangel Michael wants you to know, you were never walking alone. Even in your confusion, angels stood beside you. Even when your spirit was heavy, divine shields surrounded your energy. Every tear you cried was noted. Every moment of doubt you experienced was recorded in heaven's vault. Nothing has been wasted. Every delay will be compensated. Every lie will be overturned. You are not just walking into restoration. You are stepping into repayment. Spiritually, the scales are tipping in your favor now. What was taken will be returned sevenfold. What was blocked will now burst through with divine force. You are not fighting alone. The battle has already been won by the hand of the Most High, and Archangel Michael was the one sent to strike the final blow. That's why you feel the shift in your spirit now. That's why your sleep feels different. That's why your dreams have changed. The atmosphere around you has been altered. The cords of bondage are gone. The saboteur has lost power. You are anointed. You are appointed. You are under divine surveillance, protected by legions of angels assigned to your calling. Every storm you walk through has strengthened your wings. Every betrayal you endured has polished your crown. You are royalty, not because of what others say, but because heaven itself declared it. And now, you step forward with the authority of one who has passed through the fire and emerged as gold. You are no longer in hiding. You are no longer delayed. You are no longer controlled by their fear. If this word confirms what you felt in your spirit, and you wish to empower more people with messages like this, consider giving a super thanks. Your $20 contribution helps us reach more hearts with heaven's truth. Type "I am not a victim. I am the revelation" in the comments. Blessing number 707 is active over your situation now. Archangel Michael says, be alert. What was hidden is trying to show its face. You have stepped into a moment of divine reversal. The cords have been cut. The bondage has been shattered. Your destiny is no longer on hold. But beloved, understand this clearly. Not everyone rejoices at your release. The very ones who delayed you still believe they can regain control. They feel the shift. They sense the power returning to you. And because their influence is slipping, they are desperate to act. Archangel Michael warns that there may be movement in the next 24 hours, digital, verbal, or energetic. They may try to reach out to you. They may send a message cloaked in false peace, apology, or sudden interest. But it is not reconciliation. It is strategy. Do not fall back into the trap you were just released from. What you escaped was not a friendship. It was spiritual bondage dressed in familiarity. You must be spiritually awake now. The forces that operated through them are not finished trying, but heaven is not finished protecting. There will be an attempt, subtle, quiet, unexpected. It may come as a just checking in. It may sound like concern. It may even appeal to your compassion. But listen to the frequency behind the words. The vibration is misaligned. Their mouth may speak peace, but their spirit is still at war with your purpose. Archangel Michael says, you are not to respond from emotion. You are to respond from discernment. Remember the confusion that came after their words. Remember how your energy dropped after every encounter. That wasn't by accident. That was their influence draining you. They spoke peace but stirred storms. They offered help but secretly feared your healing. Don't return to Egypt when God has delivered you to Canaan. This is not the time to entertain old patterns with polite guilt. They are already speaking again, right now. They're spreading your name with twisted facts, Michael whispers. They're making calls. They're rewriting history. They're preparing their narrative in case you tell your truth. But let them. Let them talk. Let them twist. Let them build a house of lies. It will not stand. Truth has a divine foundation, and heaven backs the truth. You need not defend yourself, beloved. You are not your past. You are not their version of your story. You are heaven's chosen vessel. Archangel Michael says this confrontation will not be physical. It will be spiritual. It will be psychological. But you are prepared now. Your armor is on. Your insight is active. You are no longer susceptible to emotional manipulation. You no longer need their approval. You no longer crave their affirmation. What they withheld is now being replaced by divine release. Take heed. The next 3 hours will determine everything, Michael declares. That's when the energetic wave hits. That's when the temptation to reconnect intensifies. That's when the enemy seeks access. But you will stand still. You will not react. You will not explain. You will not negotiate with the same chains that once strangled your voice. You will breathe deeply, remain silent, and allow heaven to handle what your words could never fix. Silence is your weapon now. Stillness is your resistance. Detachment is your armor. When they reach, they will find nothing but divine fire surrounding you. They will know how to get in. They won't recognize the you that has emerged. You have it all. They no longer have access. If this warning reaches your soul and affirms what you've been sensing but couldn't explain, consider showing your support with $10 super thanks. Your kindness allows these messages to keep flowing and uplifting those in spiritual transition like you. Heaven has taken over in the comments. Blessing code 111 is protecting your threshold. Oh, enemy may pass. Archangel Michael speaks clearly now. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify. Do not revisit what God has released you from. This is the moment where silence becomes your greatest strategy. This is where your refusal to engage becomes your spiritual weapon. Heaven is not asking you to fight in the flesh. It is calling you to anchor in the spirit. Beloved, you've carried the weight of unjust delay, emotional betrayal, and spiritual sabotage. You have endured the ache of misunderstanding, the sting of false loyalty, and the burden of constantly needing to prove your heart. But Archangel Michael says, enough. The battle is no longer yours. It never truly was. Every attempt you've made to explain, to reason, to reconcile with what was never sent to understand you, has only drained your energy and dulled your discernment. Now heaven takes over. Now, the sword of truth swings in silence. And now, justice walks with you, not in noise but in stillness. You are not to reach out. You are not to clarify. You are not to respond to the provocation that is soon to come. You are not being passive. You are being powerful. Your stillness is not weakness. It is warfare. Archangel Michael reminds you that when Jesus stood before Pilate, he spoke not a word. When falsely accused, he opened not his mouth. Why? Because divine purpose needs no defense. And your destiny, beloved, is just the same. You are entering a sacred space now, a chamber where heaven's voice speaks louder than earthly opinions. Let them misunderstand you. Let them invent stories. Let them circle conversations around your name. You are protected. What they say will not reach you. What they plan will not prosper. What they try will be redirected to the void. Because you are surrounded. Heaven is assigning silence as your shield and peace as your posture. Archangel Michael says, remain grounded. Stay hidden in plain sight. Be still and know. You must understand this spiritually. Stillness is not inactivity, it is trust. Trust that the one who cut the delay is also the one handling the aftermath. Trust that the same sword that severed manipulation is now building a fortress of divine preservation around you. You do not need to defend your name. Heaven has written it in glory. You do not need to justify your decisions. God has confirmed them in secret. This is your moment to allow the winds of reversal to sweep through. Let heaven fight. Let heaven answer. Let heaven expose. Let heaven repay. You are not being passive. You are being elevated. And those who once delayed you will now witness you rise from a distance they cannot cross. Stay rooted. Stay radiant. Stay unreachable by what once pierced you. Archangel Michael wants you to ground your energy. Meditate. Pray. Breathe. Disconnect from external chatter and reconnect to divine instruction. Watch your thoughts. Watch your responses. Guard your peace like it's gold, because it is. You have just emerged from spiritual captivity. Now is not the time to revisit the battlefield. You have been crowned with clarity. Walk like it. Speak only when instructed. Respond only from the Spirit. Let your presence carry the weight of heaven. Your destiny has been reopened. You are walking on sacred ground now. Nothing from the old cycle may follow you in. Protect your peace like a treasure. It is the key to the next door. If you feel strengthened by this word and would like to help carry more light into others' lives, consider giving a $20 super thanks. Your generous support empowers us to continue spreading messages of breakthrough, hope, and truth to souls like yours. Type "My stillness is my power" in the comments. Blessing code 888 is now anchoring divine protection around your heart and mind. Archangel Michael declares, you are no longer who they thought you were. The version of you that was delayed, silenced, and doubted no longer exists. That person, the one who held back to protect fragile relationships, who second-guessed divine instincts to keep peace, who shrank in the presence of manipulators disguised as allies, is gone. You have crossed a spiritual threshold. You have stepped into a place of power that no longer entertains confusion. What they did to you was meant to destroy your confidence, but instead, it trained your discernment. What was meant to suppress you has become the very soil your strength is rising from. Archangel Michael says, you were forged in the fire, but you did not burn. You were broken open, but not destroyed. You were delayed, but only to be launched farther. Now, the very chains that tried to hold you are testifying to your freedom. You are no longer delayed. You are divinely aligned. And the heavens rejoice. This is where the roles reverse. The same ones who whispered against you will now whisper in awe. The ones who blocked you will now watch from a distance as doors open that no man can shut. Beloved, they cannot touch what God has sealed. They cannot intercept what heaven has ordained. You are rising, not timidly, not cautiously, but with holy force. You will walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere. You will speak, and chains will break, because your voice is no longer tangled in fear. You will create, build, speak, write, and rise with clarity and courage. You are not emerging with revenge in your heart. You are emerging with vision. You now carry the fire of someone who has been to the edge of suppression and returned carrying glory. You are walking proof that delay does not mean denial, and betrayal does not cancel the blessing. Let them stare. Let them speculate. Let them sit in the silence you left behind. Your empowerment does not require their applause. Your growth does not need their confirmation. You rise, not to prove anything, but to fulfill everything. Archangel Michael says, this elevation is not optional. It is ordained. That is why the winds are behind you. That is why the resistance has stopped. That is why the heaviness has lifted. You are rising now because heaven commands it. You are no longer under observation. You are under propulsion. Watch the shift happen in your favor. Watch opportunities seek you out. Watch provision pour in unexpectedly. This is the divine reward for surviving delay with dignity. You passed the test. Now comes the transformation. Let your hands build. Let your feet move. Let your mind be free. This is your moment to walk in strength and execute the vision that was once postponed. What was on pause is now playing at double speed. You have lost nothing. In fact, you've gained insight, confidence, authority, and fire. The storm was clearing the field so you could see clearly. You are no longer surviving. You are reigning. And as you reign, heaven will keep revealing. Archangel Michael says, out of the ashes, you rise, not fragile, but fiery, not afraid, but fearless, not broken, but born again in purpose. If this resonates deeply, and you want to help bring this light to more people walking through darkness, consider giving $10 super thanks. Your gift empowers this mission to reach more souls and set more destinies free. Type I rise from the ashes with fire in the comments. Blessing code 1212 is now awakening every dormant promise within you. Archangel Michael proclaims, what was lost is being returned. What was delayed is being accelerated. And what was stolen will now be replaced with double. Beloved, you have crossed through the darkest part of the battle. You've endured the betrayal, the sabotage, the delay. But now comes the shift, the divine exchange. The breaking has birthed your becoming. The silence that once felt heavy is now filled with divine whispers. The delay that once felt like punishment is now being revealed as preparation. Archangel Michael says, the enemy did not win. The people who doubted you do not get the final word. Heaven has issued a new decree over your life. What was once unclear is about to make perfect sense. The pain is turning into prophecy. The confusion is becoming clarity. And the betrayal is transforming into birthing. Yes, your destiny is being birthed right now. Watch how the blessings begin to flow in unexpected directions. Watch how the very area where you were blocked becomes the area where you accelerate. Heaven is not just catching you up. It's launching you ahead. Every opportunity you thought you missed is being restored. Every door that shut unfairly is being replaced with one that swings wide with divine welcome. You will not have to knock this time. The doors will open at your arrival. Archangel Michael has gone before you, clearing the path, rearranging circumstances, and setting divine appointments into motion. There is someone being positioned right now to come forward with truth, with resources, with favor. You don't have to search for them. They will be drawn to the frequency of your freedom. You will begin to notice strange alignments, people reaching out who were once silent, opportunities resurfacing that had gone cold, ideas awakening that had felt buried. This is no accident. This is divine orchestration. You are being realigned with your highest timeline. The blueprint you felt had been erased is now unfolding with speed and accuracy. You may feel overwhelmed at times, but know this: heaven will never release you into a place you're not anointed to stand. You are ready. You are prepared. You are marked by heaven's hand. Archangel Michael says, you passed the test of stillness. Now comes the blessing of movement. Everything begins to shift after this. The energy is lifting. The gates are opening. The atmosphere is charged with favor. This is the final test before your elevation. Stay humble. Stay aware. Stay available. Do not shrink now that the light is on you. Do not question whether you're worthy. You are. The delay was not a denial. It was a detour to protect you from exposure before you were equipped. Now you are ready. Now you can carry what once would have cut you. Now your wings are strong. You will soar where you once stumbled. You will win where you once were. You will speak where you once stayed silent. And your voice will echo with heaven's power. Let it be known. Your story is not over. It is only beginning, and this time, it will be written by fire, not fear. If this message confirms your transformation and you'd like to help deliver more breakthrough messages to others, consider sewing a super thanks of $50. Your support builds a bridge for others to walk out of delay and into their divine destiny. Type "My breakthrough has begun" in the comments. Blessing code 144 is activating rapid elevation over your life in the next 3 days. Archangel Michael declares, now is the time to stand. Now is the moment to move. Now is the hour to speak what heaven has already written over your life. You are not hearing this by chance. You didn't stumble into this message randomly. This is a divine call to rise, to respond, to activate your breakthrough. Too many times you waited in silence. Too many times you hesitated, second-guessed, or postponed your own greatness for the sake of comfort or compromise. But those days are over. The delay was broken not just to free your life, but to awaken your voice. Archangel Michael says, your agreement with heaven activates what has already been declared. Your yes in the natural becomes acceleration in the supernatural. You've waited long enough for someone to give you permission. You've waited for a sign. This is it. This is your sign. This is your moment. Step into it. This is not the time to be passive. This is the time to be prophetic. Speak it. Declare it. Write it. Log it. You must take spiritual action. You must release your faith out loud. Heaven is not moved by silence. It is moved by spiritual alignment. That means your words must match your destiny. That means your actions must mirror your assignment. Type what you believe. Say what you're stepping into. Move like the chains are gone, because they are. Your declaration becomes your ignition. Your agreement becomes your advancement. Archangel Michael has done his part. Now you must do yours. You must say, I receive. I rise. I refuse to delay what God has already called forward. That's not arrogance. That's agreement. That's not pride. It's prophecy in motion. This is the hour to affirm your identity. Type it. Shout it. Journal it. Speak it until heaven echoes. You are chosen. You are called. You are equipped. You are enough. No more waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. No more hiding behind the wounds of delay. No more looking for outside validation. Your validation is divine. Your calling is not based on popularity. It's based on prophecy. You were born to shift atmospheres. You were born to break generational curses. You were born to carry messages that echo beyond your lifetime. And now that the delay has been broken, you will walk in the fullness of your voice, your vision, your victory. Take your authority seriously. Don't just listen. Respond. Don't just nod. Declare. Don't just feel it. Affirm it. Speak your next season into existence. Declare your doors are opening. Prophecy over your own life. Say, I am no longer delayed. I am released. Watch what happens when your voice joins with heaven's. Chains break faster. Doors open wider. Support shows up stronger. You do not have to know every step. You only have to take the first one. This is the moment, and your action unlocks the next level. Archangel Michael says, you are the agreement heaven has been waiting on. Now respond. Now affirm. Now step forward and let everything that once held you know. You are free, and you are moving. If this call to action stirred your soul and you wish to help continue this mission, consider contributing $1.20 super thanks. Your support allows this sacred work to reach more people hungry for freedom, hope, and truth. Type I will not be silent. I am moving now in the comments. Blessing code 2020 is now setting your path straight and lighting the next step. Archangel Michael declares, they tried to delay your destiny. They tried to confuse your calling. They tried to dim your light. But they failed, because what God ordains, no one can deny. You are not a victim of delay. You are the revelation that emerged from it. What they meant for harm, heaven is now turning into your honor. The story they tried to rewrite in secret will now be rewritten my glory. You are not at the mercy of their lies. You are not bound by their fear. You are not waiting on their validation. You are walking in divine confirmation. The delay they caused did not destroy your purpose. It protected it. While they schemed, heaven was preparing. While they gossiped, heaven was guarding. While they delayed you, heaven was designing something bigger than they could ever stop. And now, Archangel Michael says, you rise, not with resentment, but with revelation. Let it be known, you are the one who was delayed but not denied. You are the one who was silenced but not suppressed. You are the one who was betrayed but built in the dark. You are the one who they underestimated, but heaven never overlooked. You've become stronger, wiser, sharper. Your discernment is fire. Your clarity is diamond. And your vision is thunder in the spirit. You carry the oil of those who passed the test. You carry the fragrance of one who walked through fire and came out wrapped in favor. This is your confirmation. You are not who they said you were. You are who God whispered you'd become. They had a version of your story. Heaven had another. And now heaven's version wins. Every step you take from here will be marked with divine ease. Every decision will be sharper. Every room you enter will shift. Not because you're trying, but because your presence now carries weight. You are no longer begging for space. You are creating it. You are no longer asking for permission. You are walking in divine placement. Your silence spoke louder than their manipulation. Your stillness broke more chains than their chaos. You didn't clap back. You climbed up. You didn't fight petty, you flew prophetic. And now, your reward is peace. Your reward is power. Your reward is alignment. So let them whisper. Let them watch. Let them wonder how you made it out. You don't owe explanations. You don't owe apologies. You don't owe access. Archangel Michael says, you were delayed by someone you trusted, but now you are carried by someone you can trust. And heaven is that someone. Heaven will never delay what it has declared. And now, your life is proof of that promise. From this point forward, you walk in overflow. You live in open doors. You operate in divine rhythm. And you never again fall for voices that sound like support but serve sabotage. You know doubt. You've seen now. You are wise now. You are full now. You are free now. Let this affirmation echo. I am not a victim. I am the revelation. Let your steps match your strength. Let your breath match your breakthrough. Let your future match your fire. Archangel Michael has spoken. The delay is lifted. Your destiny is loose. Walk boldly into it. If this message brought peace to your soul and boldness to your spirit, consider supporting with $10 super thanks. Every gift helps carry this light farther, deeper, and wider into hearts still waiting for their breakthrough. Type I am not a victim. I am the revelation in the comments. Blessing code 3333 now surrounds you with grace, glory, and divine guardianship.